800 acres of rolling pasture, oak-lined creeks, and one narrow gravel road leading to a single wooden bridge that crossed Willow Run Creek. The ranch had been in our family since the 1940s, long before the word development started appearing in glossy brochures with smiling couples and fake ponds. That bridge wasn't fancy. No concrete, no steel cables, just thick treated beams, reinforced over the years, wide enough for tractors, livestock trailers, and the occasional emergency vehicle. It had survived floods, droughts, and 3 generations of hard ranch life. What it didn't survive was an HOA. The new neighbors. The trouble started when Evergreen Heights appeared. One summer, survey stakes popped up along the eastern edge of my property. Then bulldozers. Then signs with pastel fonts promising luxury country living and nature-forward community design. I didn't think much of it, until construction traffic started using my bridge. Dump trucks, concrete mixers, framing trucks loaded way beyond reasonable weight. They'd rumble across Willow Run from dawn to dusk, shaking boards that were never meant for that kind of abuse. So I did what a reasonable landowner does. I called their site manager. He told me, casually, that their HOA board had reviewed the maps and determined the bridge was functionally shared access. Shared. I informed him the bridge sat fully on my land, had never been part of any easement, and was privately maintained. 2 days later, I received a letter. The first HOA letter. The letterhead said Evergreen Heights Homeowners Association, even though no one lived there yet. The letter accused me of operating an unsafe, non-compliant structure, and demanded I either upgrade the bridge to modern standards or cease blocking access. Blocking access to my own land. I laughed. Then I called my lawyer. He confirmed exactly what I already knew. No easement, no right of access, no authority. We sent a response. Polite, firm, legal. The HOA didn't reply. Instead, they escalated the inspection. One morning, I woke up to chainsaws. I ran down to the creek and found 3 men in safety vests and hard hats standing on my bridge. An excavator idled nearby. Red tape fluttered between trees. A woman stood at the edge, clipboard in hand, sunglasses perched like armor. "Can I help you?" I asked. She didn't look up. "This structure has been condemned." "By who?" "Evergreen Heights HOA," she said flatly. "Emergency safety action." I told her to get off my land. She smiled the way people do when they think paperwork makes them invincible. "We have authority." They were halfway through cutting support beams when my lawyer answered the phone. He told me to document everything. Take photos. Don't touch them. By the time the sheriff arrived, the bridge was already collapsing into the creek. The damage. The bridge wasn't just access, it was lifeline. Without it, the ranch was split in 2. My north pasture was inaccessible by vehicle. Emergency services would have to detour nearly 6 miles around unmaintained dirt roads. The HOA claimed they had prevented a hazard. They sent me an invoice. $18,400 for demolition services. That's when I stopped being polite. The legal stalemate. We filed suit immediately. Trespass, property damage, destruction of infrastructure. The HOA responded with a counterclaim accusing me of obstructing a community access route critical to future residents. Their argument hinged on a supposed historic use path. It was nonsense, but lawsuits take time. Meanwhile, construction at Evergreen Heights stalled. Because the only heavy equipment access they had was now gone. And the alternative road, it crossed Willow Run at a shallow point that flooded every spring. Which gave me an idea. The creek that became a plan. Willow Run had always been temperamental. It widened naturally during rainy seasons and cut deeper channels during droughts. I brought in a hydrologist, then an engineer, then a backhoe operator with a quiet smile and no questions. Everything we planned was fully on my property. Perfectly legal, environmentally approved, and devastatingly effective. We expanded Willow Run, not by damming it, by redirecting runoff, reinforcing natural banks, and deepening the channel into a slow-moving, wide water barrier that hugged my property line like a liquid fence. Where the HOA's access road met the creek, it now met water. Deep water. The moat. I didn't call it a moat. The HOA did. Local papers picked it up when drone footage surfaced. A wide, gleaming stretch of water encircling Evergreen Heights on 3 sides, with steep, reinforced banks that made crossings impossible without a bridge. My bridge, which no longer existed. The HOA panicked. Construction crews couldn't reach half the development. Emergency access plans failed inspection. Insurance companies demanded solutions. They called me. The offer. The HOA president came in person this time. She wore heels unsuited for ranch land and a forced smile stretched thin. "We're prepared to negotiate," she said. I asked if that meant rebuilding my bridge. She hesitated. "We believe a shared access concrete bridge would benefit." "No," I said. "You destroyed my bridge. You'll rebuild my bridge. On my terms." She asked what those terms were. I slid a document across the table. My terms. Full reconstruction of a private ranch bridge to my specifications. Permanent acknowledgement that no HOA member has access rights. Payment for all damages, legal fees, and lost income. A signed agreement never to claim access again. Public written apology filed with the county. She stared at it like it was written in another language. "This is unreasonable." I leaned back. "Then enjoy your lake." The collapse. Within weeks, Evergreen Heights was in trouble. Buyers backed out. Banks froze funding. The county flagged their emergency access as noncompliant. One fire marshal put it bluntly: "If someone has a heart attack in Phase 3, they'll drown before an ambulance arrives." The HOA folded. The rebuild. The new bridge took 6 months. Steel reinforced. Flood rated. Wide enough for my cattle trailers and tractors, but gated at both ends. The HOA paid every penny. They even landscaped the creek bank, on my side. When it was done, I reopened access to my ranch and left the expanded creek exactly where it was. The moat stayed. The aftermath. Evergreen Heights eventually finished, but smaller than planned. Their marketing changed. Exclusive waterfront living now meant something else entirely. As for me, I fish Willow Run in the evenings. The water reflects the sunset beautifully. Ducks nest along the banks. The creek breathes easier now, wider and calmer than before. And every once in a while, I'll catch an HOA resident standing at the edge, staring across the water at my ranch. They never cross, because they finally learned something important. You don't tear down a rancher's bridge and expect him not to reshape the land beneath your feet.